Hey guys, Elise here, and I'm just going to quickly go over some of the other areas of your WordPress site that you should be checking out before you go ahead and install any plugins. So depending on what theme you've sort of gone with, you're more than likely going to have a theme area where you can go in and make customizations. So as I said, I'm using WordPress. So if I want to make changes to theme, so things like logo, banner, background, that sort of thing, then I would go into WordPress into the dashboard there and make those changes there. Anything else is governed by WordPress, and the area that you really need to focus on initially is when you change the theme of your WordPress site, you can come in here and click on customize. So this is different to customizing the theme. This is just customizing your actual WordPress site and how that is going to sort of work. So I'll show you what I mean. So you'll see that it pops out all these different options, and again it will also be sort of driven a little bit by your theme as well. But the things that you want to click on is just making sure that things like site title and tagline are filled out. Now, they may not display, but they will show up from an SEO perspective. So you want to make sure that you have filled that in to be whatever it is that you want to be. Probably want to make sure you've got some keywords covered in there. You can choose to have a site icon, and it will tell you what that image is. I don't have that because I have uploaded an image favicon, which overrides this anyway. So you can go ahead and do that. And then in terms of menus, again, this is depending on your theme. So I have 3 different options here. I can also add more here if I wanted to. In terms of widgets, you don't really need to worry about that because you can take care of that in the actual widget area under appearance. A static front page is really important. So if you wanted to have your front page be a landing page, for example, then you would choose a static page. If you just want your blog to be the main page, then you choose your latest posts. So the only thing with choosing a static page is that you need to have that page created before you can come in here and choose it. So just keep that in mind if that's something that you're looking to do. I have used a static page in the past, but I'm finding that having my blog as the sort of the home page area, it just lists out all the sort of most recent posts, seems to work better. But if you're going to do that, you want to make sure that you're capturing email addresses and stuff like that up the top. I'm still in the process of adding in that sort of stuff to the new site, but you'll see, if you want to check out what I mean, go to a website called thenectarcollective.com. Melissa Griffin has an amazing setup, and she has all her blog posts, as her front page, but she has this email capture along the top that you can check out. Actually, I'll just go ahead and show you. Let me go and find that for you. And just because I said that, Melissa has gone and updated her website to be her name, which is Melissa Griffin. So her previous site used to have a smaller header at the top, and then it would just have an email capture. So now what she's done is she's turned this portion of her area into this little thing here where you can where it pops up and gives you that option. So you can choose to do whatever you want. It's really up to you. Test it. It's relatively easy to change if you need to. So let's come back to this customize area. So yeah, static page is if you just want to have something different than your blog as your home page. And then depending on whether you've got an SEO plugin installed, which we haven't talked about yet, you can come in and specify a few areas in here as well. So that's just another area that you'll want to check off when you're going through this process after you've installed your theme and you're happy with how you've set up your theme. The next area that you want to look at is the settings area. And you'll see it pops out a whole bunch of options. So if I just click on settings, it will take me to general by default, and then I can sort of step you through the areas that you want to sort of focus on and make sure are filled out. So again, it's your site title and tagline. You want to make sure those are sitting there. In terms of WordPress address, that'll be the default, and site address is the default. If you want a different page to display here, you can go and change that, but I'd probably recommend that you don't, because I've done it in the past and it has caused some major issues. So that's why I was showing you the static page option. If you want your home page to be a static page, then choose it from there rather than coming in here and changing things around. Email address would be whatever you have used when you were setting up the site, and then you can just come down in here and choose all these different options. So it's important that your time zone is set to whatever your main audience is. So yes, I'm based in Australia, but the majority of my audience is US based. So I have my website set to Eastern Standard Time, and I've chosen New York because it's one of my favorite places to visit. And then in terms of date format, time format, you can go ahead and choose whatever you want. For me, a week starts on a Monday, and obviously you can choose your site language. So if you make any changes on this page, always make sure you hit Save Changes before moving on to the next area. And so then the next area is writing, where you can come in and again make a few tweaks if you want to. You can choose your default post category. Now you might not have set any categories up. You can go ahead and set those up under posts and then come down into categories. So you can go ahead and set up a whole bunch there. So whenever I'm creating a new blog post, it will default to Side Hustle, and then I can go ahead and choose a whole bunch of other options. You'll see that I have got a number of different categories. So just choose the one that makes the most sense, just in case you forget to choose one when you're doing a blog post. For me, I just want to make sure that it's defaulting to Side Hustle if I forget. And then in terms of post format, you can change the way that this looks, but again, it is theme dependent. I'm using Optimized Press, which governs the blog layout, so I don't touch this in here. Your theme might be different, so just have a look at what that is. If you are using the WordPress app on your smartphone, you can choose to send in a post via email, and you can come in and set all of this information here. I don't do that. I'm definitely someone that likes to write things on my computer. I can't do that on my smartphone. So again, if you make any changes, come in and save changes. Don't worry about changing anything here. You can, but it's generally easier to leave that sort of thing by default. The next area is the reading portion, and this governs how people read your blog. And again, this is where we're talking about front page displays, and you can choose it to be something else. You can choose to display more or less posts here, and you can do full text or a summary for your article feed. And if for whatever reason you were making changes to your site and you didn't want the search engines to index, then you would come in here and tick this, and then the search engines won't be indexing that. And it is up to them to honor that, but generally most of them, if they see that that is ticked, then they won't index you, which means you won't show up in a Google search. So definitely don't tick that if that's not something that you're thinking about doing or you need to worry about. The next area that we're looking at is the discussion settings. Generally, you don't have to come in here and change too much. Really just think about things like allowing people to post comments on any blog posts that you have. If you don't want that to happen, then you would untick this. Also, it comes down to settings. I have it set to email me whenever anyone posts a comment, and then it's sort of how that whole process sort of works. So you can choose to come in and change how this all looks. So it's really just up to you in terms of how you want that all to look. And obviously, if your blog is a little bit more PG or R-rated, then definitely come in and set that here. Otherwise, you might find you're getting sort of blacklisted by the search engines. And then again, if you're making changes, make sure that you come in and do that. The other area that you want to look at is permalinks. Now this is really important and something that people that generally kind of forget to do. If you want to make sure that your blog posts have good keywords in them and are easily found, make sure you come in here and choose this custom structure and enter this in yourself, which you'll have to do. Otherwise you're going to have a few issues in the way that this is generated. The default, I think, is plain. So yeah, just come in here and just change the custom structure, choose custom structure and put in this information here so that you can make sure that your blog posts are editable, so you can go in and change the name if you want to. It will just make your life a lot easier. And that is just a quick roundup of things, other areas that you want to check out and tweak inside your WordPress site once you've installed your theme.